Welcome, friends watching at home, to another episode of Invictus Pro Wrestling Power Hour. I'm Alex Aceta. With me is Ryan Gross. Nick Outman cannot be with us tonight, but he sends all his love. But with us tonight, in the virtual flesh, is none other than Andrew's Better Body System, aka ABBS.
Hello.
ABBS, how are we doing this evening?
Oh, doing wonderful. Just enjoying life, I guess. Just hanging out on a Sunday, talking to you guys. And yeah, I was prepared. I mean, I know you guys like to bring out the booze, so I like me a craft beer, but I'm going for a nice hard seltzer today.
What brand is that? Bon.
I
haven't heard of that one. Flavor. Peach?
I've been really on a hard seltzer kick lately, so.
I got you. Yeah. You know, with beer, you got all those empty calories. You know, you got to. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me, though.
Of course. Yeah, our pleasure. Sabs, what have you been up to? We haven't really spoken at length since the November show. I mean, we've been everything here and there, but yeah, I haven't really.
Obviously, I mean, there's not much you can be up to in a pandemic and all that stuff. I mean, obviously, there's the Camp Leapfrog stuff. Those it's basically you guys and Camp Leapfrog, where I'm like most committed to right now.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Camp Leapfrog later. Definitely want to hear more about that. But we have some questions for you, of course. We want to know the man behind the abs.
Yeah.
Give the fans a little insight into your life and your wrestling career. So I'm going to start things off with the first question that we ask every guest on here, which is, how did you first become interested in professional wrestling?
Okay. Mine's a bit of a different than most people probably who's been on here, but like I did not get into wrestling until my freshman year of college. So I'm a bit of a late bloomer in this whole thing. I mean, I'm not by any means a wrestling historian, but like I watched it in my college friend's dorm, and like I was immediately drawn to it. I'm like, whoa, this is cool. I mean, I always had like a respect for it. I never would go around accusing it of being fake, which is not. It's a bit like I would never go around accusing it of being those people, and like being like, oh, why do you watch this? Don't you know it's fake? Like, I wouldn't be one of them. And it's like, I do remember one instance when I had like illegal cable, a black box in my home. We all know that. I randomly turned on, and there was a 2004 No Way Out, and I remember watching Eddie Guerrero versus Brock Lesnar, and I'm like, whoa, that's pretty cool. But like even after that, I like didn't fully dive into wrestling until one day I watched Raw in my friend's dorm room, and the first person I gravitated to and really enjoyed was Sheamus, believe it or not. I think that's a solid person to watch, though. But like, yeah, from there on in.
Wow. So you were a late bloomer then, getting into wrestling.
I'm a late bloomer in a lot of things.
I'm pretty sure Nick actually didn't get into wrestling until college either. But
right. I mean, but my mindset is it doesn't matter when you get into it as long as you are fully divulged into it. Like it doesn't matter. Also,
yeah, like getting into it later on in life is almost like, I won't say it's better, but it's like you can kind of like you sort of go right to appreciating it more from like as an art form rather than like, you know, going through the whole you spared yourself the conversation that I had to have with my parents when they broke the news to me that it's I won't say fake, but you know, scripted. That was on par with finding out Santa wasn't real, and there was out there that still believe in Santa. I apologize.
I didn't stop. I mean, I believed in Santa until I was like 8 years old. So
you are Santa. You can be. Yeah.
I am.
Weird. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So you mentioned Eddie Guerrero before, so and Sheamus as well. So who were some of your other like favorite wrestlers or matches or moments from kind earlier.
I guess now that I appreciate it more, I will jot down, I guess, that Eddie Guerrero Brock Lesnar match, because rewatching it again, like, it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I grew into sort of be more of a world of sport guy. So British wrestling is kind of where I found my calling or something, or the fandom of. I got really in my favorite wrestler. It's an unusual pick, I guess, and most people would probably view it, but and there's a common theme with Sheamus and this person, but Finlay was kind of became my number one guy for a while, still kind of is. So pardon the Irish theme, but
I love Finlay.
Finlay was great. World of Sport stuff was great. WCW, great. The backyard brawl he had, or backstage brawl thing he had with Regal, underrated moment.
Dude, Finlay was like, when he first came on, because I know obviously like when he debuted in WWE, like he had already been, you know,
he is everywhere else pretty much. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, so I grew up in a really Irish town, and
right.
Finlay like just sort of reminded me of like, I had all these friends who had like off the boat Irish fathers who they like feared to death. Like they would just be like, I have to be home by 9 or else like my dad's gonna like beat my ass. And like when Finlay debuted, like that's what he reminded me of. Like these just like strict, like hard ass, like Irish dads, like in my hometown.
Right.
Just barrel chested, like
the daily
during the week. Yeah, like just crazy shit like that. Oh, so that's awesome. So then what actually made you decide to, you know what, I'm gonna cross over the guardrail from a fan to actually deciding to train to get in the ring and do this?
Yeah, I was for like since my childhood, I always was into like play fighting and all that stuff. Like I always loved like action movies, and like I growing up, I had a huge phase of like Chinese kung fu movies. I always loved like that type of stuff. So it's like I always was into the physical aspect of the stuff, and of course the theater too, performative. So I figured after watching it, like when I can, I want to try it. And then there was this one trip we took in college. Like some of the wrestling fans just kind of gathered together, grabbed 2 teachers and all that stuff, and packed up I went to college in Connecticut, so we all packed up, drove up to Massachusetts, and did like a day training thing, a day like camp training thing up at the New England Pro Wrestling Academy in Massachusetts, which is a huge hot spot right now. And like especially in that area, people came out of there. I got in there, and one of the more notable people, I guess, was Hansen or a Warbeard or Ivar in WWE now. He was there, and he was cool, and he basically, I guess, was the first person to really bump me around. And it was then after college I decided I kind of want to do it. I kind of want to really give it an honest go, and I did it and haven't turned back. I've abandoned a lot of things in my life, but like, you know, try something and then just never really do it again. It's not for me type of stuff, but wrestling is the one consistent thing I kind of like stuck to. So that's my accomplishment.
Oh, well, that's awesome, man. We're so glad you did decide to stick to it. So how long have you been doing it?
I started in January 2014 and kind of stayed in that same place for 5 years. Gleason's Gym, Johnny Rod's. That it stayed there really. Was just sort of like just doing like the monthly, bi-monthly shows till in 2019 in February to be exact. I decided to leave and branch out a bit more.
Nice. Was it always Abs or was it somebody else before? Abs?
Well, there was very different before. Like I did really go with the Abs thing until like probably mid 2018, and even then I wasn't called Abs. I went under sort of my real name because over there it's hard to have a name and all that because it's Johnny's just going to announce it how he wants to announce it, and if he just says your real name, then cool, that's your name. Yeah, but I wore a singlet before. I even like Yeah, I've worn a singlet before and tights and all that stuff. But no, the abs weren't out just yet.
Now, most people might think your abs just means abs, but what does abs actually mean?
Andrew's better body system. It's an actual, like, there's actual meaning behind it. And it's just like the system, how you get perfect, hardcore, sculpted abs.
It's worked it out magnificently for you, so.
Oh, yeah, and they're 100% real and authentic.
Yep. Absolutely. So, so 2014 would mean you've been doing this for going on 7 years now.
Yep.
So what are some of the moments or matches of your career that you've been most proud of?
I had a lot of fun, cool matches over there at Gleason's and for wrestling over there, but like, I honestly think that type of stuff didn't come around until like your Camp Leapfrogs or you guys, Invictus. Yeah. My first match on the Indies, I wrestled for Dino Caruso's ECPW. I had a match. He was with my friend Hamlet Hurts You out there. He's a friend of mine, and so it was just cool to get that out there. Then my second match was sort of an enhancement job at Pro Wrestling Magic. I got in there for about 2 to 3 minutes and got squashed. But yeah, since then I've had more of my favorite matches came a bit after all that.
You wrestled Orange Cassidy, didn't you?
It was part of Extremely Serious Wrestling.
Okay.
Which is like sort of a comedy wrestling type thing. It's done at an improv theater in the heart of Manhattan, in New York, right in New York City. And like, it's awesome. It's really cool. And they tend to bring in some names here and there. And they brought in Orange for a feud with this guy I was with called Sean from Michaels. His name is Sean. He works at Michaels, the arts and crafts store.
Nice.
And I guess you could kind of say I was kind of his diesel.
Okay. Oh, nice.
And like, and they had a match together, and I interfered. You know, I was in there as like sort of, and I put him in an abdominal stretch, so that was cool. Then I had a moment with him like a year later where it was in their version of the Royal Rumble called the Forever Games. I was a participant in it, so was he. So we had a little exchange. I would love nothing more than to wrestle him again, like in an actual wrestling ring capacity. But I sort of still look back at the moments and like, wow, I did this with this. I worked with someone, a name, even if it was in this capacity. So I feel proud of it.
Wow, that's awesome, man. Doesn't matter, on what stage it is. It's cool that you got a chance to,
Yeah, but he's still top of my list of people I really, really want to wrestle.
You got to talk to Stetson. He just.
Oh yeah, Stetson. I gotta ask him some stuff when I.
Yeah. That's awesome. So let's, if you don't mind, I know some people get a little weird about this, but if we want to just lift up the kayfabe curtain a little bit, how did you come up with the abs persona? I know Ryan kind of sort of touched on it a little bit just now, but I want to know about how that actually came about. How did you go from like, going under sort of your real name with Johnny Rods to creating this persona that you now?
Well, I just was trying to find something to sort of be different, really. And like, I just figured that with the way I am, I'm not like the toughest guy in the world. I'm not going to come out there and intimidate you and all that stuff. I'm kind of a very like laid back, mellow, very antisocial and shy person. So like, I sort of just figured I'd incorporate it into that. But wouldn't it be funny if he just had abs? Like everything you think these type of wrestlers who had abs, like these arrogant body guy types, think of me doing the opposite. Like showing that they can sort of have more personalities than just being what they are, and they're being like bad guys or whatever. I just figure, what if I did the opposite of what a body guy is supposed to be? And that's just who I am. There are traces of my actual personality in abs, but it's only slightly exaggerated, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they say that the best, wrestling persona are just your real personality dialed up to 11.
For sure.
Yeah, but I mean, it works. That sort of subversion of the usual kind of trope that we as wrestling fans are used to. It works in terms of like drawing your attention. Because I mean, I remember when you first reached out to us, inquiring about working with us. But I was used to by that point getting inquiries from all these different workers on the indies. But
Right.
when I saw your resume, it was like it stood out to me because I was like, oh, like this is something different. This isn't something I'm used to seeing. So yeah,
Wow.
I'm so glad we took that chance on you and
Thank you.
bringing you in. Yeah.
Out of all the introductions that Peterson did that show, I think his introduction for you is actually my favorite. I love the whole setup to seeing abs. It works. And it's really funny.
It was perfect for that situation because I was thrown in there with all these cruiserweights and like smaller guys, and then boom, here I come.
Yep, it was because we already sort of knew that we wanted to do that. Like when we were doing the first show, we're like, all right, like what didn't we see at the first show? Oh, we didn't really see like a flippy cruiserweight match. And
Right.
like, yeah, let's do like a multi-man match. And then I think it was Nick actually who said, you know what, it would be so funny if we just threw one person in there who's clearly not a cruiserweight. And I was like, I got just the guy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So let's talk about, because as much as we've loved having you as a part of Invictus, the other promotion that you've been very active with as of late is Camp Leapfrog,
Yep.
which we're big fans of over here. Tell us a little bit about how that sort of came about, and because you've been arguably one of their breakout stars since they got going.
Oh yeah. I thank you. So thank you for saying that. Okay, I guess I have to probably trace that back to when I met Chris Levin. It was at a show in Delaware in like December of 2019. Went over there, just did the regular old introductions, like shook hands. And then did it with Chris. I thought nothing of it. Like, oh, I'm just shaking everyone's hand, being nice and all that. And I was there because I was booked on the show. And then he just came up to me like, hey, would you like to, I mean, he wanted a picture with me because I guess he saw the abs and then it's like, thought like you, like it's something different. And like it's a relatively big guy doing it. So, yeah. And then he said to me, hey, are you booked next week? And I'm like, no. Would you like to come wrestle for Chikara? And I'm like, would I ever? Yes. I will love to come wrestle for Chikara because that's a place I've always looked at and admired for many years. I mean, obviously stuff went down that we're not going to talk about, but that's a place before all that I really, really was like wanted to do. So I did that. I came over there. I played an enhancement role again against, of course, my Camp Leapfrog nemesis at this point, Blank. And then he asked me to do some stuff with them. Chris added me to some of the project he was doing at that time, also on IWTV. Did a New Year's thing with him. Did the same thing again at Chikara in February before everything shut down. Worked Razorhawk, and then I guess from there it just it's sort of propelled from there. Like, just meeting Chris, and we become very good friends, and I love the guy to death.
Yeah, I actually had lunch with Chris about 2 weeks ago before the GSW show. He was reffing, and we just talked, promoter to promoter, kind of picked each other's brains a little bit. But yeah, like you said, great guy. His passion for the business is very evident when you talk to him. And just, I mean, I told him as much when we spoke. I love what you guys are doing over there. It's just very wholesome, just like feel good, wrestling entertainment.
Sure. I hear a lot of people say it's taken them away from the misery they've been feeling during this pandemic, or even everything in wrestling, not just the pandemic, but what happened in wrestling back in June. Like, got a lot of people, and it's still happening, evidently.
Hmm.
And like, it's got a lot of people, fans and workers, a lot alike, just really down. So I keep hearing that Camp Leapfrog has just boosted their love and passion for the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you guys got another show coming up this month, so I'm excited to see what comes about with that.
Camper's Choice, March 20th.
Camper's Choice. That's good. It's going to be like a Cyber Sunday type deal, right? Like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. It's going to put the book in the fans' hands.
Yes,
Very,
sir.
very interesting. So my next question, kind of talking about, you were mentioning Extremely Serious Wrestling before, which is a comedy promotion. So comedy wrestling, especially over the last several years, I think has been a very polarizing topic in wrestling. You got the Jim Cornettes and the like of the world who, bury it and think it's exposing the business, etc. But as someone like you who sort of carved a niche, in that sort of realm, I want to know what are your thoughts on it?
Oh, I love it. I enjoy comedy wrestling. I mean, I thought I would be more of a comedy wrestler guy, but I try to not really label myself as that. But I'm very, very open and want to do something different most of the time. So that I'm very open to comedy wrestling, but I never labeled myself as much of a comedy wrestler. I'm just a wrestler with a gimmick, an entertaining gimmick, and I use it. But I have no issue with comedy wrestling whatsoever. Mostly if it's done correctly and if it makes sense. Like you watch someone like Orange Cassidy doing his thing at the very beginning, but then when he starts selling and then towards the end, he really fires up and actually displays good like intensity and all that stuff. Then like that's fine. That's like you don't lose the realism of it, I think.
Yeah, well, I think you're very good with that too, because like I'm just thinking at November Rain, for example, everyone was kind of laughing when you came out, as the surprise entrant in the cruiserweight match, and
Right.
we're getting the gimmick over a little bit, but then it's like, you broke out that Rana and that like, the Tower of Doom spot,
Right.
off the middle rope, and people were like, oh shit, like this dude can actually work. So I feel like almost in a way, like the comedy is funny because it almost like it sort of sets it up like when you actually do that sort of reveal, like, oh no, like at the end of the day I'm a wrestler, like
For sure.
I'm in the ring, like it almost enhances that in a way.
For sure.
That's awesome. So my last question before we move into the fan questions is 2021 is still relatively young. We're in the first week of March right now. What are some of your goals or aspirations for this year?
Well, obviously, it's to continue and help getting out there more places like Camp Leapfrog and Invictus. I would love to help build up with that, all that stuff. But obviously, I mean, right now my weekends are a little bit odd because like I am in school for massage therapy right now, and I'm in class on Saturdays until like 1 p.m. sometimes. So like that sometimes Saturdays can be a little difficult, but once everything opens up again, I really want to hustle more. I'm looking at like Limitless Wrestling up in Maine. That's a place I'd really love to go to.
Oh, yeah.
Places like GSW or anywhere pretty much that's building a name for themselves. I would really love to be at. Yeah, I guess my main goal is to just sort of get out there more.
Absolutely.
Like that's all in all, wherever it is, I just want to be out there.
Amen to that, brother. And best of luck with all of that. So we'll move into our fan questions now. I'm just going to get them pulled up. 1 second. Usually Nick reads the Instagram questions, but because he's not with us tonight, he sent them to me, so I have to actually, why don't we start with those, just make it a little bit easier. All right, so our our fan questions, and these next four aren't from fans per se, but some of your fellow colleagues in the wrestling business, which should be interesting. Smiley asked, what's your best ab workout?
Best ab workout?
Yeah.
Okay. 10 million stomach crunches a month.
Okay.
And then obviously in the days you do some simple glute bridges, just sort of hold it there for a bit, just walk around town, suck in your gut the whole day. And then end of every day, when you feel tight enough, suck it out, stick it out there, and then find a brick wall and run towards it. And just hit a brick wall for at least 5 times, and then you should be good.
No pain, no gain, right?
Right, exactly. No one said it was easy.
Mm-hmm. Well, there you have it, Smiley. Joey Silver, Sweet Cheeks, asked, borrow any more headbands from your sister?
Wait, I don't even know what that's in reference to.
Oh, I don't know either. I was hoping you knew.
Enlighten me, Joey Silver.
We're gonna have to get some rebuttal on that. Dennis Morgan asked, when will we see the debut of Six Pack Abs?
Oh, now that's a reference I am. That's the potential tag team of me and Dennis Morgan. Hey, whenever you want, my man. When I'm in the midst of millions of tag team ideas, I'm sure, but like that one would be awesome, especially at Invictus. Hint, hint.
Well, I'm jotting it down as we speak.
Yeah,
that's
keep
an
that
idea.
in.
For sure. Six Pack Abs. I think that's just a great tag name. So it really brings out the best of both of you. Our social media champion, Big Game Leroy, asked, when did you start training your powerful abs? And what's your motivation for it?
My powerful abs. I was born with them. I never had to.
Okay.
I never was not training them.
So,
and motivation, it was just instilled at me from my family. Just stay fit, stay hard.
There you go. Passed down from generation to generation.
Exactly.
Moving over to Facebook now. Don Kincaid, it's not really a question, it's more like an observation, said, I had abs like that pre-virus. I let myself go. Yeah, has quarantine affected the
on and off
abs regimen a little bit?
But right now, like they're a little bit
Oh, I see. Yeah.
A little bit right now, but like within the next couple days, I'm sure they'll be right back on track.
What is the abs? Go on. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, what's the abs diet consist of? Like, what's your
abs diet? I'm glad you asked. Well, I've been on keto lately, so
yes.
My version of keto is lots of meat and cheese and hard seltzer, and that's it. Nothing else.
So just charcuterie boards, essentially.
Just have a charcuterie.
Yeah, there we go. We're a classy.
Yes, I sometimes even pour my hard seltzers in a wine glass and have my pinky up and just sort of wrap everything up and just sort of,
Beautiful. So our last question comes from Joe Grimont, and he asked, sort of been touched on already, but what's the secret to those chiseled abs? I also like how I want to just point out that everyone that asked the question about abs spells it the way you spell it, with 2 B's. I think
is there a different way?
I always thought it was just abs with 1 B, like abdominals, but
right.
It's funny because my phone actually. Go on. No, I was saying my phone actually autocorrects it to ABBS.
Right.
And I just thought that was funny.
Or they all love and respect me. One of those.
There you go.
I'm still gonna try and figure out what the headband thing with Joey Silver is, because I'm just wondering.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's a joke that's a bit over my head.
Well, Joey Silver also wears.
He wears headbands too.
I was gonna say, yeah. So maybe that's like a, I don't know, like a headband.
Well, I don't know Joey Silver. Get any more Halloween candy. What
You can't have any
candy and all
candy,
that
man.
stuff.
That's not keto of you.
Yeah, eating all that candy.
Just teasing you.
The sugar is making him a bit is making his vision a little blurry.
There we go. So that concludes our fan questions. So right now we're going to move into our clip of the week. All right, welcome back, viewers at home. We're going to be getting into our clip of the week now. Now, to preface this, Abs, you are, of course, a man of discipline. You are, of course, you didn't get that chiseled physique overnight. You know there is a great deal of training and a great deal of, like we said, discipline that goes into this. So for this week's clip of the week, I have pulled up on YouTube, and I'm going to share my screen in just a moment here, some of the all-time best training montages in film and television.
All right.
So we're going to react to them, and I would like your sort of insider perspective on, some of the exercises that these gentlemen are doing, and evaluating their effectiveness. If you believe that, if this were, as Vince Russo would say, if this were real, bro. Would this be effective? So let's where's the, there we go, share the screen, desktop. All right, so let's take a look first. We'll start off with some Avatar: The Last Airbender. We got Uncle Iroh's training scene here from when he was locked in jail. Oh, it's in Spanish. I guess we're gonna have this music over it the whole time. Let's go back a little bit. Abs, do you think that Uncle Iroh could sell feet pics online?
I mean, they're a cartoon, so I don't know.
I mean, they look a little dirty.
Oh yeah, of course.
There's a market for everything, but
I don't think anyone wants damaged feet because he's got them all bandaged up and they're filthy. So
that's true.
But that's not what I'm here for. Not for the feet.
Do you ever do the hanging pull-ups?
Oh yeah, all the time. Sometimes from my fire escape on my 6th floor building. Oh, I don't like that.
Damn. Okay, so I've mentioned this before. I don't know if it was on this show or somewhere else, or maybe it was in like some other podcast. But nothing in this world makes me like more uncomfortable than like jacked old men.
Like, yeah,
man, especially like, but anyone like Master Roshi and Dragon Ball Z, like just there's something very unnatural about it, and it really just it
doesn't match the face.
Yeah, it's just really unsettling to me. So this is making me uncomfortable a bit, but let's just see. An apple a day keeps the cholesterol away, I guess. Yeah. So what do we think? Well,
he was doing fine until those push-ups. That's probably the reason he doesn't have abs like he probably should, because when you're on the Andrews Better Body System, you don't do push-ups. You work nothing but abs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, why would you waste time on the chest, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So let's move now into a little One Punch Man. This is Saitama's secret to his
I've
training.
heard of this workout. A lot of people do it.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, with your training regimen and One Punch Man's training regimen, who do you think would win a fight?
Well,
I think it's close.
he doesn't hit. He hits me anywhere else but my abs. Probably him, but if he hits me in the abs, it's over. Even One Punch Man, no, it ain't gonna work. If he hits me in my abs only.
Let's take a look. This is I could only find the English dubbed, so I apologize in advance.
Genos, you listen carefully too. You mean he's going to tell us right now? First, what's important is to make sure you really stick to this intense training regimen.
Oh, it's so bad.
Listen, Genos, you have to keep doing it, no matter how difficult it gets.
I didn't even know he could talk.
Genos, 100 push-ups, and a 10-kilometer run, and 100 squats. Do it every single day.
Now, oh, that's a problematic image to pause on. There we go. So my issue with this is that, right, he says 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 squats. He's not really being specific on like reps, sets, you know, like
Right.
theoretically, like, you know, I could do that in a day, you know, if I'm like,
Well, yeah, I guess if you like divide it up
5 or 10 at a time, you know.
Yeah, if he's saying do it like consecutively, then like, boy, I don't know. Not many people can really do that, especially if you're like just trying to, like, if you're just starting out, I guess.
I guess so.
I don't know. I can't critique the guy. It works for him.
Never ever use the air conditioner in the summer or heat so you can strengthen the mind. And of course, make sure you eat 3 meals daily. Just a banana in the morning is fine. In the beginning, you'll wish you were dead. You might start thinking, what's the harm of taking a day off? Even when my arms started making weird clicking noises, I kept doing push-ups. I did squats, even when my legs felt like they couldn't move. Even if I was spitting blood, I never stopped. I toughed it out and endured the pain. A year and a half later, I started.
Do you own any like Adidas tracksuits like that, Abs?
No, but I might have to be an investment. I might invest in that.
That's a really.
I had some, but like, and the shorts with the 3 stripes, but I don't have a jacket that matches it.
Started to notice a difference. I was bald.
Yep.
Oh.
And I had become stronger.
He felt to get strong because he was bald. He had to compensate getting stronger.
Yeah. You got to train until your hair falls out.
Jeez.
That's the only way to become truly strong. Master, you're so full of crap. I have to get stronger, understand me? I cannot believe you would do this. I did not ask to study under you to hear jokes.
Oh, wow. So,
Whoa.
You know, somebody sold me on the show One Punch Man based on that training regimen. They're like, oh, no, you got to watch it. 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups. That's how he trains. He's the world's strongest man.
I absolutely love One Punch Man. It's one of my favorite anime from like the last several years.
It is probably,
I've heard good things about it.
It's probably one of the only animes I've actually watched. I'm not.
No, because it's actually like One Punch Man isn't like I watch a good amount of anime, and I think it's like One Punch Man is like one of the few series that I like feel comfortable showing like non-anime people. Because I feel like it's universally funny, you know. Like,
right. I haven't watched anime in ages though.
We got a lot of weebs on the Invictus roster, so.
They allow weed?
Weebs, with a B, but yeah, a lot of that too probably. We got our last one here, which is a very iconic training montage in cinema history. We got Rocky's training from 1976. I did not know that movie was this old.
I thought 78,
80s,
yeah.
yeah.
76. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Classic.
This all looks pretty doable. Is that what you were talking about with running into the wall?
Yeah. You can have someone punch it for you if you have someone around. Tell them to punch you in the abs as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Every day.
No pain, no gain.
No pain, no gain.
Yes.
Meat.
You gotta, if you want to get big and strong, you gotta pound some meat. He's a wrecking machine.
I'm getting tired just watching him.
I'm getting blown up already.
Walk up 3 flights of stairs and I'm out of breath.
He's running really fast. Wow.
He's running so fast they had to slow it down.
This is the scene, guys.
Oh yeah, the steps.
I've been to Philly like twice, and I have not gone to there.
I feel like every wrestler or somebody that I know, like when they get booked in Philly, their first instinct
go to Rocky
like get a cheesesteak or run the Rocky steps, which I think are kind of. I don't think you can do both. I think it's one or the other.
Well, you got off the cheesesteak.
That's true. Yeah. Adrian.
Oh.
This is just a general thing. Like, how did Sylvester Stallone have a film career? Like, he has to be one of the ugliest men.
I think he wrote this movie.
He did.
He wrote it
for like a weekend.
Yeah, no, I mean, if it wasn't for Rocky, he probably wouldn't have much of a career.
Probably.
I mean, what else has he done? Demolition Man?
Rambo.
Oh, Rambo, you're right.
He also wrote, right?
And I wasn't saying Demolition Man as one of his good movies.
What was it? The Expendables.
Oh yeah.
That movie that he did with all the like old retired action movie guys. Nice. Good stuff.
You missed the most important montage in cinema history.
Rocky IV?
Which would be?
No, Team America.
Oh. You know what? The next time we do clips from movies, I'm going to let you curate it, Ryan, because I know that you're much more well-versed in film than I am.
You know what? In all fairness, if we would have did the Team America, we would have went from a PG to a hard R. So
that's fair. That's fair. Well, anyway, that's been our clip of the week.
Right.
Along into our news roundup now. Welcome back, folks at home. We are now moving into our news roundup. Now that we're doing Power Hour bi-weekly, we have a lot more news to catch up on. Abs and I are going full Pokemon trainer right now with our hats, turning them around at different angles, showing
Going for the side one, like
showing that we mean business.
yeah.
So yeah, a lot of news to cover. Probably the biggest thing that has happened in the last week or so, Bobby Lashley is now the WWE champion. Defeated The Miz. I think a lot of people figured that The Miz was going to be a transitional champion. That felt a little underwhelming when he did win the belt. But yes, Bobby Lashley is now the champion. Very feel-good moment in the wrestling community. He joins The Rock and Kofi Kingston as the third African-American WWE champion in history. Yeah, it looks like he'll be going into Mania as champion. What are our thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, we knew The Miz was going to be transitional champion, but we thought like to Drew McIntyre right back to him or something. At least that's what I thought. But it's a really good move, I think, to have Lashley hold the title. It could probably bring more incentive to bring Brock Lesnar back, should they? Whether it's at Mania or anywhere else, we could finally get that Lesnar-Lashley match. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure if they'll have him drop it at Mania or not, but I'm just happy it's there on him right now.
I know there were a lot of people clamoring, for that Lashley Lesnar match. You know, both of them have a very illustrious MMA careers under their belt, so I think
it's something that's been building, I think, since Lashley even returned to WWE, even before.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting no matter what direction they take it. It's a feel-good moment. Definitely earned with Lashley. And I think credit where it's due, not only to Bobby Lashley himself, but also MVP. Because the Hurt Business, I can't...
Really is MVP of wrestling, but of Raw specifically, like the past year. He's done wonders for.
I can't put that over enough. And the fact that he went from like a random Royal Rumble return to, sort of commanding one of the most successful factions in recent WWE history.
No one thought he was going to stick around like he did.
Yeah, he took three, guys who were just languishing in the mid-card and elevated them now to championship status.
And it's like people would probably say, like, no, he didn't do that. The booking committee did, or Vince McMahon did, put them with him. Like, well, no. Isn't MVP also a producer back there? So he has some booking power. So,
but also the fact that, like,
what he's done with them. Yeah.
If you had a less charismatic person at the helm of that, it would have fallen flat.
For sure.
The fact that, his, charisma and his sort of role as the sort of godfather of that group is really what carried them to new heights.
So much for Lashley and Cedric, yes, but I really like that it's revived Shelton Benjamin to everyone too.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Throw some respect on my boy Shelton's name. So yeah, that was awesome to see. And then another thing, talking about WrestleMania implications, looking like we're going to have Bianca Bel-Air taking on Sasha Banks, which is a big deal. The first time ever in WrestleMania history that we'll be having two women of color facing off for the women's champion. Presumably, that's going to be the main event of one of the two nights. But yeah, that's going to be really awesome to see. Bianca Belair, I think, has had the makings of a star for a while now. I would say going back to probably last year's Royal Rumble, even a bit further. It's been sort of just a meteoric rise for her. So very excited to see that match and see, hoping she can win the big one.
Well, in that instance, no matter who wins, the crowd wins.
Yes, the real winners.
Nobody loses.
Mm-hmm. So it should be good. I mean, obviously, we're still sort of seeing how things are going to play out as far as having fans and how many fans. But I will say I'm definitely very excited for this Mania. Probably the most excited I've been for a WrestleMania for a while now. But
I don't even watch the product that much, really, and I'm looking forward.
Me either. I don't watch it from a week-to-week basis either. But yeah, I'm definitely very excited. Turning over to AEW now, we have the Revolution pay-per-view. We're recording this on Sunday. We have the AEW Revolution pay-per-view airing tonight. Few big things. We got a stacked show coming. All of the titles are going to be on the line. We have the finals of the women's eliminator tournament. The winner of that tournament, Ryo Mizunami, going to be facing Hikaru Shida. We got the Young Bucks defending their tag titles against the Inner Circle of Chris Jericho and MJF. And I think the bit of news that most people are speculating about, Paul White, formerly known as The Big Show, signed on with the company in a total surprise last week. And it's been announced that he announced rather that there's going to be a major Hall of Fame worthy signing taking place at Revolution, which has led to a lot of speculation about who it might be that's going to be there. What are our predictions, boys?
I really can't say. I not that I even don't choose to say, but like I really just can't see who it could possibly be. Either way, it's probably going to be it'll probably be a big pickup, probably something very surprising to most people, but I don't know if it's going to be the people they think it's going to be.
Yeah, I saw some pretty ridiculous names being thrown around this week. John Cena, CM Punk, Batista.
Actually, now you just listed out, I think the one with the slightly biggest chance it could be Punk, but I can't.
I agree. No, I agree with you on that.
I'm not declaring like, oh, it's CM Punk because he said before he is interested in working for AEW, but it's like I think of all of those names, that's the most likely, and it's like barely.
I also heard speculation that it could be Lesnar. I don't think you mentioned him. That was another one I heard.
Yeah, Lesnar was the other. Christian as well was another name that was thrown around.
The other one too. I heard that one.
But I heard, I thought after Edge came back, they said that Christian had re-signed a long-term deal with WWE. So I don't think it would be Christian.
I think there's still a lot more they can do with Christian in WWE. So I don't, and probably gonna do in the long term. So I don't see why he would go to AEW.
Yeah, no, I think with Edge being back, I don't see the upside to that. I was gonna say, and this would be a really underwhelming choice. I think given the speculation that's gone into it, but I was gonna say maybe Bret Hart.
Doesn't seem surprising because he's already appeared for AEW before.
He has, and Tony Khan said one of his all-time favorite wrestlers, and he also said that that it was going to be blanking out now, a Hall of Fame worthy individual. So
cool as that would be to bring Bret in, as great as Bret is, I think for the fans' sake, I don't think that's a smart idea because they would be so disappointed.
No, they'd be disappointed, and also you already have enough legends and veterans on the AEW roster in a number of different capacities. I don't think Bret Hart would really be able to add much.
No.
Given the amount of people that they already have.
And I told you this earlier, like when people were saying that watch it not be Batista or Lesnar and watch it be Jimmy Wang Yang. And I'm like, you think that's a bad thing? Who wouldn't want freaking Jimmy Wang Yang?
I would really like it if they brought Jimmy Wang Yang out to just troll the crowd and then revealed the big signing. I think that would be a good way to sort of give him that pop.
Say surprise, it's going to be Jim Cornette.
Yo, I would cry.
I think
after all that,
who better than? It's funny because I think Jericho said if he would just get his head out of his ass, they'd love to sign him as a consultant. But, you know.
Yo, imagine if he came out and he was just like, there's gonna be some changes around here.
I would love that. I do love some Jim Cornette.
Yeah. Well, I know that Nick loves Jim Cornette. So
Yeah, that's we're right there.
I agree with a lot of things he says, but when he starts getting into personal tirades, that's when I sort of lose a bit of interest. Like, you had a good point going, but now you have to be an ass.
Well,
He's very entertaining. Like, you know, he knows his stuff. It's just the way he presents it. You know,
It could be a bit of a turnoff for people.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because I was actually telling Nick in the car ride yesterday, I was never crazy about Cornette growing up, but as I got older, I've learned to appreciate Cornette a lot more. Because, you know, when I'm a kid, I like the cartoony gimmicks, like Undertaker, Paul Bearer type managers, Mr. Fuji, and all those guys. And Cornette was just kind of a loudmouth,
right?
You know, not the gimmicky
Cornette.
side.
With the tennis racket.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
There we go, guys. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
That's the it's been spoiled for us. Also, I want to add that Tommy Dreamer was the one that posted that, which makes it even better. But yeah, no, I mean, I think, listen, no matter who it ends up being, I think credit to AEW. They've gotten a lot of people talking and they've gotten a lot of people engaged. I mean, I'm going to watch the pay-per-view tonight. I don't usually go out of my way to watch pay-per-views, but I'm excited. Also that and the exploding barbed wire match. Who doesn't like exploding barbed wire? It's going to be great.
You know, it's big when on the show, on the build-up, the go-home show, they had Onita on.
Yeah.
They brought out Onita.
I fucking love Onita. His Tokyo Dome entrance, I watched it last night to get me pumped up for Revolution. I don't think there's been a single more badass entrance in wrestling. Just sitting on the chair, lighting the cig, just getting pelted with garbage. No fucks given. I love it. So good. Yeah, I'm really excited. I think personally for that match, I see Omega retaining. I think that's the only way that's going to go. Let Mox Japan for a bit.
I can see Omega holding it for a while, but it's going to be like do I want to say a dirty finish or something? Like something's going to happen.
I mean, how dirty can the finish be if it's
already
barbed wire exploding death match?
You got Don Callis out there probably, so.
It's true. I forgot he's going to be there. Yeah, no, it's a very exciting, show. Oh, and then there's also they got the ladder match as well for the title shot. They have a prize spot for there too. Yeah. So a lot of speculation, a lot of ways this can go. I'm color me excited. Speaking of gimmick matches. Let's talk In Bloom, our next event, which is coming up on April 24th. Tickets are on sale now. You can go pick them up. Shameless plug. We promised you a bit of news during this episode of Power Hour. We can give you that news because one of the matches on that card is going to be the Climb for Clout ladder match, in which 7 brave individuals are going to be doing battle for the Clout case, which can be cashed in for a social media championship match at any time of their choosing. 4 of those competitors have been revealed thus far. The rest are going to be revealed this week, and we can now confirm that one Andrew's Better Body Systems, aka ABBS, is officially going to be an entrant in that matchup.
Whoa, that is huge.
That is huge.
My first ever ladder match. Well, you know what? I appreciate you for putting me in that match, and I'm gonna try my darndest. But it's a lot of people out there. I saw those names, pretty solid names. Not gonna lie, and I can't imagine who the last 3 people you have to announce afterwards will be. So I'm not coming alone. I have someone who's coming. I anticipated this, so I kind of put in a call. My good friend and partner at Camp Leapfrog, little Miss Abby Jane, is coming with me, and she will be by my side during this whole thing. So
you heard it here.
You think I'm like fiery and tough? Wait till you see her. Ooh.
Oh man, well, we've seen her. Hopefully, I think some of the Invictus faithful are going to be getting their first taste of pro wrestling's ray of sunshine. Abby Jane going to be accompanying Abs as he enters the Climb for Clout ladder match at In Bloom, April 24th, Washington Township, New Jersey. You can get your tickets on all of our social media platforms now. Abs, we are very excited for that match, and we are very thankful to have had you join us.
Thank you.
Episode of Power Hour. Before we sign off for the night, any social media presence you would like to plug?
For one, check out my Twitter at generic abs. The abs are all caps. Guess you'll find some amusing stuff on there. My Instagram is my favorite thing to upload stuff on. Might find some funny little gems there. It's not fake abs. Get it? Because most people say real this, real that. I'm not fake.
Yes.
I have a Pro Wrestling Tees store, but I also just got a What a Maneuver store, which is, I guess, sort of another version of, it's like the new up-and-coming type of merch store. I just opened one of those. They actually just sent me something today that it's pretty much confirmed on there. So once my stuff gets on there, go check it out, support, get a shirt, only abs shirt, and an abs shirt.
Nice. Well, there you have it, folks at home. Abs, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This has been an absolute blast.
Thank you guys for having me, and I'm looking very much forward to wowing the Invictus crowd at In Bloom.
For all of us here at Power Hour, Ryan Gross, Nick Outman in Spirit, and Andrew's Better Body Systems, aka Abs, I'm Alex Aceta. We will see you guys next time.
What's going on, Rogamaniacs, wrestling fans? I'm the Maroon Goon himself, Machismo Charismo, Bronco Bronson, and I'm here to tell you about the future of Invictus Pro Wrestling. You see, right now, they're going through many different endeavors. You can go on ProWrestlingTees.com and buy all the t-shirts they got that are on sale now for about $20 each. You can also watch their shows that they've done so far. Eruption and November Rain, they're both available on Gumroad for a $9.99 bundle. You get to own both, brother, baby. You better believe it. Woosah!